What we saying, people? Now then, people, welcome to the Just Your Football Show. I hope you like them bangers that were getting played right there. Of course, it's the midweek fix. It's the midweek fix. I was showing you all the new kit there. JT?
A thing of beauty. Oh my, orgasmic, divine, sublime, any adjectives you want to throw at it. It doesn't do it justice. I mean, the colors, have you seen the colors? I don't know if you want to whack an image up here, but it's got the white, nice, clean white. Then you've got the blue strips, harking back to the first season back in the Premier League. You've got the lovely yellowish gold trim around the arm. Oh my God, absolutely sublime. If you zoom into the stitching, you got the little LUFC embroidered. I mean, I don't know who was in charge, Zani, whoever, but that is one of the most orgasmic things I've ever seen. I mean, it doesn't belong on YouTube. It belongs on Brazzers.
I love you, Jason. I love you, man. I love you.
What were you saying? Just let me...
What was I saying? I mean, just look at it, man. Look at that. How can you not have your eyes bulging out of your sternum? They're not even in your sternum, but they should be bulging out of there. I mean,
something's wrong if your eyes are bulging out your sternum.
Look at it. Look,
nice,
that gold. It looks like that Real Madrid kit of a couple of years ago, man.
Yeah.
It's so nice.
It's
so
really
nice. Like that. It's
the
exactly
LUFC
like
thing there is beautiful, isn't it? Like, I don't know if people can see it, but it's like woven into the shirt.
It's a nice touch. It's definitely a nice touch.
I don't know. It looks a bit loose, though. It does look a bit loose. That's the only problem I have with it. I want it a bit more skin tight. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you would with that type of body, though. Yeah, with your body, you want that. Don't you?
Well,
to be fair, JT, they do actually usually have match
the stadium fit
body
one.
Fit. Yeah,
no, they don't with Adidas for some reason. That's what I mean,
Kappa
man.
that did that, wasn't it? It was Kappa that did that.
Yeah, it was, and Nike, because I get it with the English shirts. I've been trying to get it with the Leeds ones, but unfortunately,
I swear you can buy Fit, no? I always remember I used to go
more expensive as well.
Yeah.
They usually that's what I mean. They usually like change the material and make it like one of those air breathed ones, but Adidas just do one package. One size.
A lot of people are saying it looks like our one from a couple of years ago, just adding a couple of colours. What's your thoughts on that?
Yeah, no, that's what I mean. It's exactly like the first year one, but with that little like golden yellow trim around the edge that just adds that.
Well,
the thing is, whatever happened,
the first one should have been.
Yeah,
that's what it should have been in the first place. When we first came up, they should have they literally just went right, bog standard, blue stripes. There you go, done.
No. The first kit one. Are you saying the first kit one was dead? That first kit one, the first year I think is better than the second year one.
What I'm saying is there was no personalization to Leeds sort of thing. Do you know what I mean? There was no it was a stock Adidas kit. Just like our away kit from this season was
here. Like, this shows how good it is in terms of levels. Yeah, just bear with us 1 sec. Like, this is last season's. Yeah, and then if you compare it with how this one looks, like, it's just not even in the same ballpark.
Such a clean transition.
It is brilliant, man. Like, to go from that to that is just unreal.
You just in my shirt,
is just different.
It's in my shirt.
No, I've got it as well, bro. I always buy the shirts. That's the thing.
I
always buy the shirts, but this one I was just like, it's sweet as a nut. It's really, really nice.
To be fair, I didn't get the home kit last year because I don't know what you guys think. Sorry to cut you off, but you see that collar on it on the home shirt. Not a fan of the buttons.
I understand that.
Yeah, it depends, doesn't it? I think if this had had an actual collar, it would have looked nice. Like, sometimes a collared shirt can actually look nice. Do you know what I mean? With like an actual fold over collar with the buttons. But if it's just buttons and then a normal neck, it's a bit like they've half done it.
The thing is, Leeds could drop anything and I'm buying it. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
At first, we look at it and we all have our criticisms. Go, they don't have this, don't have that. But at the end of the day, we're still paying the 60 quid late August.
I'm buying anything but bed sheets. That's definitely.
Oh, he's taking them off, poor lad.
The pillow, I think, is it?
No, it's not. It's the pillow's underneath. They're still there. I just put a towel over it so you can't see.
Now I feel bad.
Brilliant. Do you know what we haven't done? We haven't welcomed Ollie. Obviously, YouTuber Mr. Ollie Ward coming in the sub position for Lewis whilst these off whining and dining some lass in Crete or something like that. I think it
is. I'll have you know.
Well, lasses. Has he got a couple of lasses? Right, okay. But Ollie, welcome, brother, for the debut. How are you?
Yeah, no, I'm very good. Very excited to be here with 3 brilliant YouTube Leeds content creators as well. So, you know what I mean? I'm excited.
Good.
Excited to have you, man. This guy is an absolute don. He's been smashing it. You know, he's been smashing it for a while now. How long have you had your channel? Year, 2 years? A bit longer?
Yeah, I started it September 2020. I looked a bit glory huntery because, you know, as soon as we get Prem, I started this YouTube. But it wasn't that. It wasn't that. I was always going to start it. And listen, yeah, no, it's been a good journey so far, but it's only the start. Only the start.
Nah, it has. He's a big guy, so most of you here probably know of him. But if there's by any chance you don't, then I'm telling you, this guy, top stuff, man. Top stuff. Go check him out now. Otherwise, I'll come over there and I'll give you a good slap. All right.
That's all me done now. Shall I go now?
Yeah, get yourself off now.
got me
always the hype man, JT. Always the hype man.
No, respect it. Yeah, no, thank you.
No, it's great to have you here, mate. Like I said, I've been trying to get you on for a while. You finally, stop dodging my calls and stop replying to me texts and all that, and managed to get you on.
Got the restraining order lifted.
But yeah, listen, like JT says, all the channels are in the title of the video. Just click on them and go and show your support, because we are all in this together. We all support one another in the content creation world. So you do the same as well, and go follow them. What I wanted to do, obviously we've started with the kit. We've gone through it. It's lovely, right? The only drawback for me is that it's not going to be available until the end of August. There's been an issue with Adidas, which means, look, some people one guy took the mick on social media, and I just blocked him because it is what it is. But like, he was like, "Oh, what are you going to do just because you can't get the shirt?" But it's part of the day for me. Like, normally I do get it before, but I do like to go on the opening day. I like to go to the club shop, get my new shirt. Everyone's got the new shirt on. I know I'm 34, but it's just part of my process, yeah? Like, if that's not your thing, it's not your thing. So I'm a little bit gutted that it's not available until the end of August, due to Adidas, I think.
Apparently their away shirt will be available earlier, though, isn't there?
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah, so apparently
it's still not been revealed, has it?
No, but apparently it is yellow. Like, it is yellow. You'd imagine it'll be very similar to this, but just different colour scheme, right? Like yellow,
which would be very nice.
Yes,
I would like that as well. I think it'd look smart.
Yeah,
it's weird actually. Like last year, all 3 kits had a different fit to them. Like the home kit, the away kit. I think the away kit was the best material wise. The blue one, that was my favorite from last year. It was nice. It was thin material. It hugged the body nice. The texture, the fabric, everything.
This is all you're bothered about. He's making sure your guns look right.
No, it's not. It's not about that. But it's a football shirt. You know what I mean? You want nice, breathy material. You like the nice fabric on it. I thought the 3rd kit was a little bit clunky, but the color was so nice. Ollie replay.
Yeah, of course, I had to.
That's the shirt he was wearing. What you call it? Centenary Square when we all went up there.
I've done my research. It definitely wasn't an accident. I don't know. I've done my research.
No, because I didn't know him at the time, and then I saw this like smackhead stood on the top of like some light bulb singing, and I was thinking, I swear I've seen that guy on YouTube or something. Who's this absolute crackhead? And then all of a sudden, I checked the vlogs later, and it is bloody Lewis. Would you believe it? Would you, Adam and Eve it?
Hey God, I took some.
I met some other crackhead with his goggles that day as well, man. Another crazy guy. I got a photo with him. Yeah, It was you. I was just scrolling through my phone yesterday and I saw it. I got a photo of you 2 years ago.
Shut up, you never.
Yeah, you were there with your Bielsa binoculars, not goggles, binoculars.
Show me this picture now.
You and Connor. Yeah, I got it with you and Connor.
I love this, bro. JT fanboying.
How have you been watching this until now?
There's the boys.
Wow.
Would you believe it? Yeah.
That could be anyone.
That's amazing, bro.
A rare beardless JT as well.
Yeah.
The lesser spotted.
Do you know what? Did any of you got? It was wild that day, man. It was wild. Like, there was people in circles, it was mad. Some guy fell off a lamppost and smashed his back on the way down.
That was Lewis, wasn't it?
You see the guy in the trolley getting like lifted around in a trolley, and they dropped him, and he fell onto like a whole shards of glass everywhere. I was like Floyd Mayweather in there, man, ducking and diving left, right, and center. You just look up, whoosh, someone would finish their drink, just lob some glass across.
Jesus.
Yeah. Do you know what I've noticed as well? You must have been on roids since then, because you're a lot smaller, son.
hey, how dare you, my man? I have been clean for 9.5 years, you cheeky bugger.
Wait, you took steroids when you were like 12?
Yeah.
No.
He worded that sentence like he'd done them.
No,
like
I've been clean for 9.5 years. Oh, yeah, so clean. Yeah.
Your Honour.
No, I get what you mean. No.
New kit, we're all getting it, yeah? You think we're all
Yeah.
purchasing that one?
100%.
Yeah, definitely.
Mm.
I think it's very, very nice.
Good to have for the
Very
videos
nice.
as well, to be fair, as just like a thing to have extra shirts to wear, because otherwise I find myself just like swapping between shirts. I wore a Sevilla shirt for my video earlier today, and some guy was like, "You can't be doing that." So I was like,
fuming with you, yeah. How dare you wear another shirt? I'll never forget when I went to the Phil here, and it was beautiful show where he read the book out, when he did the book. And, you hear people, yeah. And I was stood there. I had my Newell shirt on, and this crank behind me, I heard him go, as if he's wearing he went, as if he's wearing a red fucking shirt. I just, I was on my own. I'm not even entertaining it, but I thought, you crank, it's a Newell shirt. Bielsa, do your research in my head. Do you know what I mean? Like,
uncultured, mate. Uncultured.
Do you know what I mean? Like, oh, you're wearing red, like you. I was like, what?
Man.
Anyway, let's talk about pre-season. And, of course, that first pre-season game, we played Blackpool over in York. We were comfortable. We looked nice, 4-0. And we had a goal and an assist from JT's, top guy.
Did we ever? Yeah. You know what? You guys can all lord in now. You all villainized me. You laughed at me. You called me stupid. You called me executive chairman of one of the senior Furpo fan club. Well, let me tell you something, yeah? You have all got egg on your face. You must have had to have 5 showers before you joined this call, because you all look like right mugs, yeah? Because who proved you wrong? Senior Daddy Furpo, all right? The main man coming through. Should have been 2 assists. If Joe Gelhardt timed his run, would have been 2 assists. A world-class finish with that header, man. 5 Manuel Neuers wouldn't have saved that. He darts to the corner, to the front post. Bang! Flicks it on. Beautiful header. Oh, man. I mean, words can't describe how good that man is. On the ball, he is Lightning McQueen going down that left-hand side. Defensively, he's like Jordi Alba in his prime.
Do you reckon he'll play well tomorrow, or is he?
He's injured for 8 weeks,
yeah,
unfortunately. Oh, you want to laugh at another man's injury, do you? That's what we're doing here.
Yeah. Okay.
I don't want to say what I was going to say then, because I feel like JT will have an aneurysm, but it's a blessing in disguise that he's got injured.
It's a blessing in disguise. Where's the disguise? Where's the blessing?
That we might go out and get a new left back.
He was still poor defensively, wasn't he?
Oh, he made one sliding challenge, but he had to make it exciting, didn't he?
Yeah,
we got to give your fans your money's worth.
We were playing against Blackpool, who'd just been promoted from League One.
Yeah, so I could do the price of bacon.
You're saying he's redeemed himself? He's now the best left back in the world.
Wait, he didn't need to redeem. He was already quality. He just showed his quality. He was our man of the match, and he only played 45 minutes. Mate, he was world class. I told you, man.
Ollie, I tell you what, let's find Ollie. Yeah, Ollie's new on the scene on the midweek.
He's at the ball.
Talk to me about Junior. What are your opinions?
Listen, you know what? I like him. Right? I like Junior Furpo. I think I don't want to be associated with JT. I'm not. As in, I'm not as passionate as you.
No one is.
Not as passionate. But I do believe both ways that I think it's a blessing in disguise. Not that necessarily he got injured, but I think now hopefully we'll go out and get a new left back, giving him competition. But I think we can all admit he had an awful season last year. He did. But against Blackpool, he was brilliant. It was that shades of maybe to come. But then, listen, he's been injured again. Like I said, I thought defensively, again, he wasn't brilliant. But I don't think that was ever a problem with him going forward necessarily. It was always the defensive and the yellow cards, man. Like the yellow cards, honestly, it was just like, it was getting a bit stupid. But I've got time for Furpo. I think I've got the thing is, I'm too nice. I've got time for literally everyone in a Leeds shirt, which is sometimes
not Joe, apparently.
but listen, I don't like just people being negative towards our players. So I know Helder Costa's not good, but also I'm like, like, do you know what I mean? Give him a chance. You know what I mean? But I know football.
Were you gutted when Tyler went?
No, the thing is, I'm not gutted, and I'm not gutted like that. I'm just, I don't know, I'm quite personable with the players. I feel like,
I get it.
do you know what I mean? But it's not, what, Tyler, I do think he'll do all right out of QPR. Is Furpo the man? Obviously, he won't start the season with us, but is he the man to take us to the next level? I'm not sure,
Champions
but
League.
I think he had a very good game against Blackpool.
He did. Before we get thoughts on left back, I mean, I'll come to you, Max, about it being a blessing in disguise. And I guess that's not so much like you're happy Firpo's injured, but like Ollie said, it's
That's exactly what it is.
It's a reason for us to now go and address a left back situation. Because even under Firpo, the issues are there. Hjelder's got a knock, Cooper's got a knock. That means Stroud could have to.
Hey, that man's Hjeld class. He could come into his own.
Yeah, true. And then Leaf Davis as well. But just before I come here though, let me hear from Smudge. He says, "Morning, Joe. Smudge in the house. We've gone back to the round collar on the home shirt. If the away strip I have seen, it is yellow. It's ace." And he also agrees with yourselves and says, "Bang on, Ollie. Firpo, the best is yet to come." Just taking Firpo out of the equation, Max, how are you feeling with regards to us needing a left back now? It looks like it's one of the, if just after the striker, the most important thing left to do.
Yeah, well, to me, I think we needed to do this before Firpo got injured anyway. And the only reason why I say it's a blessing in disguise is because it's not too long. It's 8 weeks, which obviously isn't ideal because at the start of the season we won't have him, but it pushes them to make a decision on bringing in a left back. And I don't think that Leif Davis is good enough. I think he proved that by not even being able to really string a run of games together in Bournemouth's team in the Championship. So I think we can't start the season with Leif Davis as our starting left back to me. So I think the reason it's a blessing in disguise because it just forces the club's hand to actually go and get a left back. And whilst Firpo, obviously, he's got potential to be good, but like Ollie said, the main thing for me is like early yellow card, like the Brighton away game. He got a yellow card against Lamptey about 8 minutes in or something, and then he had to play the rest of the game. All of us hearts in our mouths because he's marking Lamptey and he was having him on toast, and it was like you sort of need backup in that situation.
100%. You do. Before we get Lewis's thoughts on the chase for a left back, not Lewis, JT's thoughts. He just said, missing the rivalry with JT this week, so popping by to say his hair looks like seaweed. I'm just buzzing that Lewis is on holiday and he's still watching the midweek fix. Do you know what I mean? It is what it is, probably poolside. Great dedication. But JT, thoughts on us acquiring a left back? What does it mean for you? Like, if we were to bring in a decent quality left back, could we see the end of Firpo potentially? Come on.
Oh my God! When did this become a comedy set? The end of Firpo. You're talking about bringing in a good left back to replace a world-class left back. Look, Firpo, it's never going to be the end of Firpo. As Ollie said there, the best is yet to come with senior Firpo. You've seen junior Firpo. You've seen senior Firpo. Daddy tier subscription senior Firpo is coming next season. Unfortunately, the injury has held things back. And obviously, with his inability to keep fit, we do need a backup left back. That is the problem. So I can kind of see what you mean. I think blessing in disguise is a bit too strong because I would never wish
let
injuries.
Me ask you this then, bro. Right? Let me ask you this then. If you don't get injured, Leeds United probably don't get a left back. Are you happy with the squad with only Firpo as a left back?
Well, so what you're saying, he won't get injured throughout the entire season?
No, so what I'm saying is, let's say Firpo didn't get injured, right? There's a big possibility that Leeds United wouldn't have gone in for a left back. Now their hand's being forced. So if Firpo was the only left back or didn't get injured, would you be happy with the club not addressing that position?
I would if they had faith in Hjeld to fit in there, and I would generally if I had faith in Firpo to stay fit. Because I don't think we need another left back with how good Firpo is. However, I did say I still did want us to probably go in and get a backup left back. I was never against getting a backup left back because we saw his injury problems last year. This is why I'm saying I won't go as far as to say blessing in disguise because I someone getting injured is a bit of a touchy subject for me. I would never see that as a blessing in any way, but you could say maybe in the long run, it could turn out effective for us. Although, if it does mean that they're trying to push senior Firpo out of the club, then I think that is a grave mistake. And that could be the end of Leeds United pushing a man like that out of the club.
I guess I just think if a competent left back comes in, Ollie, and performs,
I don't like the way you put emphasis on competent.
Well, we've not
because
had
I
one
don't
since
think
Alioski, have we?
bro, I don't think he's a competent left back. I don't. That's just my opinion.
What if we play? Okay, okay. I'll let you ask him the question. But what if we play wing backs?
Yeah, but even still, defensively, he's gash. He is, bro.
He's
like,
rhythm,
he's
not gash.
Can I just say, JT, I'm not actually saying I'm glad he's injured. I hope he's
Oh,
hurt.
yeah.
I'm saying that I'd rather have this happen now than halfway through the season and then not be covered. So the blessing is that it's happened now in pre-season.
Well, technically, halfway through the season, there's a transfer window.
Yeah, but you don't want to be dealing in the January transfer window because that's usually when people are desperate and they end up paying more money.
He's just taking it personal, Max. Don't worry about it. I get what you meant.
No. I get what you mean. I
don't go around saying I don't.
Hey, look, it's an emotional time, all right. We sell Tyler Roberts, and then if Firpo gets injured for 8 weeks, it's a rough time.
It is. It is. But Ollie, is there a big chance that if we get a competent left back, let's say for example, I don't know, throw a name out there, Charlie Taylor, right? That's one that keeps getting mentioned. People disagree, agree. I don't mind it. Like, let's say he comes in. Do you think Firpo struggles to get back into the side?
Yeah, I do. The thing is, if it wasn't for the injury, I do believe, like you said, we should get a backup left back. But I do think we start the season with Firpo at left back.
Yeah.
If he wasn't, but I know you're not too fussed about the whole Charlie Taylor thing. Listen, I don't think he's the right man. I don't know who is, if I'm being completely honest, but I don't think Charlie Taylor is. And the thoughts of, we need a left back. Oh, Alioski's just. I'm a player of not a player. I'm a fan who doesn't like necessarily seeing players come back. I want to move on, and I'm being completely honest with. I don't think Charlie Taylor's the answer personally. I've gone into this season thinking, obviously not now, but before today, we're starting Firpo at left back, and I think, and I've been gassing up to all my mates. Hey, watch out for Firpo, But I agree as well. He does have his flaws with defensively, and listen, if there is another left back coming in, I do think just based maybe on defensively alone, he would struggle to get back into the side.
I think it gives you options as well in terms of not just whether one starts or the other starts going through the whole season. But I think if you play certain types of opposition, so let's say that we're playing against Chelsea or Man City or a team that are really, really good at attacking, you'd rather have a strong defensive left back, and you probably drop Firpo for that game. And then if you're playing somebody who likes to sit back and defend a little bit, then you can play Firpo and he can help with the pressing and the attacking. And I feel like it's a good option to have rather than just having to play one player for every game. If you have people with different attributes that can complement the team in different ways, then it might just be a good idea to have an option there, not just necessarily have one of them go through the whole season and the other one just sit on the bench.
I'm not a huge fan of the, our known centre-backs pushing out to left back. Like when you put Pascal at a left back, Gary can play there. But I think when I think of a left back, I think in up and down, wander the left foot, that type of left back. And maybe the thing is, I don't know where this. The whole Charlie Taylor
delusional, but it sounds like you're describing a certain man to me.
Am
I delusional?
The thing is, the Charlie Taylor rumors, are they just because everyone goes, we need a left back, or has there been like Burnley saying they want to get rid of him?
I think it's Joe, and he works for BBC now, so when he speaks with authority. So people just jump on the back.
It's not me. No. I think. Yeah, I think it's the easy link to make, isn't it? I think it's the easy link to make. I know Connor's a big fan of him. I don't mind it. I don't mind it. But, there isn't been any credible sources.
Well, the thing is, if he came in, I'm not going to, every player we've been linked with, I always think he might not be, the right man. But as soon as they got that lead shirt on, I'm backing him. And if Charlie Taylor done the same thing, I don't care about how he left. I don't even really remember him leaving in the worst way. But apparently he did. I got mentioned today that he did, of how he left. But the thing is, if he did come back, or if anyone came back and put on that lead shirt, I'm going to support them. And everyone said that, Tyler Adams is not all this. Tyler Adams is not all that. But as soon as
Yeah.
he put a Leeds shirt, I mean, I didn't mind him. Obviously, Kamara was the other link. But the thing is, and already I'm watching these like behind the scene preseason things on the Leeds thing, and he looks like he could honestly just put that captain armband on already, Adams. And I'm liking the look of him already. I really am.
Yeah. Yeah, no, exactly. No, I agree with you on the Tyler Adams stuff as well. But just Smudge put another super chat in. He said, we've got plenty of cover at wing back if Firpoy's not available. Would it be nice to have a spare? Yes, but there are other priorities, and we'll talk about striker in a sec. But if Leeds didn't get a left back, I know you mentioned Ollie there about centre backs playing left back. Would you be happy, folks, with just Firpo and maybe Leaf? You're looking at Hjelde, Strout could play there. There's a lot of talk of Harrison playing there. Are we happy with that?
I wouldn't be, because the fact that we've had to use Strout there and use Hjelde there was mainly because Bielsa likes a small squad.
Yeah.
And so he likes his players to play multiple different positions. But when you actually look across the Premier League, you don't see many teams that use centre-backs at right back or left back. It's quite rare to actually see that. And I think we've got a little bit used to it for the way that we've been over the last couple of years. But I don't think it's really the done thing. And I think there's a reason for that. And it's just not a done thing, really. I've just said that twice. But it's, do you know what I mean? There's a reason it's not been done, because they're not ideal for that position. So you'd rather have someone specifically for that position in backup. And I think because of the signings that we've made, it is a priority. Like, he's going to be injured for the start of the season. So other than a striker, it's the highest priority for me.
Yeah.
Not a winger? Not a winger?
No.
Just sold Raf. Who's going to play on the right wing?
Yeah, but we signed Sinistera as the new Raf.
Sinistera is a left winger.
Yeah, but we won't go for a right winger, bro. We've got Harrison, we've got James, you've got Rodrigo played a little bit out there against. You know what I mean? I think they've got options there. I don't think we need a right winger.
NSG have got options, Doesn't mean we've got enough.
Who has?
Doesn't mean I want it.
Who has?
Your references. He's referenced a band called NSG. I respect it. But
who's NSG? I don't...
You don't know NSG, Joe? You need to give it the time.
Go on, have a little sing, JT. Go on.
Go on.
Go suck yourself.
Is a British Afro soul collective.
I forgot how the tune went.
Yeah, no, they're good, to be fair, but it's a bit of a niche saying, I think.
Yeah. Is it a tune of theirs? Options?
Yes. It's an absolute banger. Let me tell you.
I will listen to that. Mate. Okay, fair enough. I will check that. I do like Petite and Ourself and
Petite. I love petite women myself.
I like the
fan of them.
I like the
As a small guy myself.
With Roadblock. I don't know. I'm just seeing things that
I am the Roadblock.
Google. Yeah.
Wait. Oh, sorry. There's a band called Roadblock.
Well, it says NSG featuring Roadblock.
Who the hell?
No, featuring LD, the tune's Roadblock. Anyway. That's NSG.
Yeah. For all the people that came for the NSG talk.
Yeah, you forget NSG, my audience.
LSD's a good one.
My audience demographic is a lot older than yours, James. So you have to remember that, yeah? You have to remember that. Strout has done... What?
You're a young guy. Don't put yourself down.
No, I'm telling what my demographic is, i.e. I've seen my analytics and they're not young. Stroke has done.
We're in the same community, mate. We've all got the same analytics around here.
Nah, you haven't, man. You pulling in the
young
guns.
Whoa, that sounds a bit bad, actually. That sounds a bit...
Mate,
Jay-Z's not the audience who like...
Yeah, exactly.
I've got that video on my phone, actually. That's another one I found.
They like the flashy stuff. It's so funny, actually, because when I did my Rafinha's Gone to Barcelona video, right, I went, it's like rock, and I went, finally, Rafinha, right? And someone said to me, you've been spending too much time with JT. It's fuming, nicking his shtick. But yeah, Smudge says Straucher's done a bang-up job when asked to play left back or wing back just because it's not the norm. Doesn't mean it's wrong. No, that's fair enough, Smudge, but I think we'd all like a specialised left back if we could. We'll have to wait and see. I agree with Max in terms of it being quite a priority. Before we move on to the other priority strike, obviously we've seen a mad link today. I did a video on it. It's been doing the rounds. We, of course, were linked to Juan Mata. Apparently it's had water poured on it and it's not going to happen. But I just wanted to get...
Do some water poured on me, to be honest.
Yeah,
I just boiling in here, man.
Yeah, it's warm in it. I just wanted to find out what the general consensus was. Ollie, would you be on board with the signing of Juan Mata?
Yeah, but I don't think it's a priority. If it stopped us getting in like a left back or a striker, I think even an experienced goalkeeper's more up there than Mata. But again, I think he brings you experience. Yeah, a bit of sauce. Mate, when he played for Man United, you know, he when it was like at the end of the season, he ran the show. Do you know what I mean? I think he's still got it. But I don't think it's a priority personally. I don't know about his wages as well. Obviously, it'll be a free transfer. I think he'll bring something to the younger players, obviously. I think he still do a job. But for me, if it happens, it happens. But it's not a priority signing for me.
No, fair.
Juan Mata de la Sorce de los Convertes. Es muy bonito. Sí, la Sosa. Me gusta mucho. Me gustaría un Juan Mata en la carta.
It's for the Spanish audience out there.
Eres muy bonito.
If that's in your demographic, you know.
Yeah. I'll check the analytics. I've got a few.
Hopefully there aren't any Spaniards. That's all I'm saying. But he is a source demon. Yeah, I mean, how could you pass up a player like Juan Mata? I don't think it will happen. But oh my God. You know, it's exactly what we're missing. We're missing that creative player, you know. Ever since Pablo Hernandez, that guy that can unlock the defense. I mean, apparently Brendan Aronson's meant to be that, but we're yet to see it. But just that final bit of composure, someone who can slow the game down, they can pick that final pass, they can create that just piece of magic, that piece of cutting edge to create the killer chance. I think that's exactly what we've been missing.
I understand that, but also I do believe the Premier League's getting better and better, and the likes of Juan Mata at his age, I still believe. I know I said he ran the show for Man United, but that's at the end of the season where they weren't playing for much and things. But I still think he's a fantastic player, and like you say, he is kind of that first sort of Pablo link we've had since Pablo left. You know, we've always wanted that little bit of older, like aged fine wine type of player, and he is the one you'd be looking at. But I just don't know. Yeah, no, you go.
He's a red one.
I think he's the sort of player who's good for a player like Brendan Aronson. If he was to play alongside him in training and in games and he learns a lot from him, then it's probably very beneficial for his growth. But I just can't see it actually happening. My mate messaged me the other day and he said, do you just hate all Man United players, or are there any that you're all right with? And I was like, do you know what? If I had to pick one, Juan Mata seems like a nice guy. And then this link comes up like a day later. And he genuinely does seem just like a nice bloke. He's
charitable guy as well, by all accounts.
Yeah.
Very charitable.
Yeah, but that doesn't mean football games.
Yeah, well, like Joe said, I watch your videos. You know, I watch all of them. And you said...
I'm getting your good books now.
I'm trying to get on next week again. No, he's still a name. He's still a big name. And I think that's still a thing. But I do think it's too... I don't know if you said it's been watered down. I haven't seen that. So. But that probably makes sense. But yeah, he's still a big enough name and I still think he could make a difference in the Leeds side. But yeah, I don't know. Maybe it's just a bit of a...
It's just how much game time would he get? Because at the stage of his career he's in, he probably wants to go somewhere where he can play a good bit of football before he retires. Whether that be back to Spain, make a bit of a Santi Cazorla move, or something like that. Or I can't see him coming to Leeds, because if he did, I still don't think he would be a starter over the players that we've signed. You sign young players like Brendan Aronson and Luis Sinisterra and players like that, and they expect to play because you've brought them in on the promise that you're basically going to give them first team football for a few years in the Premier League and then sell them onto a Champions League club. And that is a lot of what the bargaining power is with players coming to Leeds at the current stage that we're in. So if you then go to somebody like Juan Mata and say, right, well, we can't actually offer you first team football, he's just going to sit on the bench like he was at Man United for a club who's going to pay him less money. So that would be my issue with it.
What are your thoughts on it? Well, JT, yeah, I don't think it's that either. But here's something to consider.
That's a great question.
Yeah, no, give me sorry. Rodrigo's been linked away. If Rodrigo was to be sold, Juan Mata makes more sense there for me, because it's then a case of you're replacing one for the other and you're actually getting a transfer fee for Rodrigo. Will Rodrigo be starting? Arguably, no, not for me. He may do, I may be wrong, but I don't think he would. And then, could Mata do that job? And there's a lot of people make the link to Strachan, exactly, Christopher Junction. I've had a few people respond to me in that, because Strachan obviously made that move from Manchester United, and he was at the tail end of his career, and look how that went. Look, I don't think it's going to happen, but I think it's a worthwhile discussion to have. And just with your point there as well, like Max, there are certain Man United players, I might get shot for this, that I don't mind in terms of like a Mata. Nah. I don't. When I think of Mata, I don't think.
Oh yeah, of course, like a Cristiano Ronaldo. Exactly.
Don't you start swinging in your bedroom.
The thing is, he's played for Chelsea and Man United.
Yeah,
and
true.
I still like him above the rest of their players. To be honest, he's not like a Bruno Fernandes where he's rolling around every 5 seconds. Morning.
There's a bit, like you said, there's a bit of class to him. That's why I like him. He's just a classy. Yeah, no, he
sounds like we're saying all this just because he's been linked to Leeds. I would have said this before.
Definitely.
Wow. Well, hang on a second. You guys are saying, oh, sorry.
Mata says. Juan, are you there?
Losing the plot. What's going on?
Yeah. Hola.
No Juan's home. Apparently.
Yeah. Smudge says Mata left back, potentially striker, goalkeeper backup. Then you want for a left back, and life will be good. Yeah, agreed. Life will be.
It will be good. And you know what? Yeah, you guys are contemplating this, and you're saying, "Oh, he's not too old." Yeah. Whatever. We could still go in for him, and we could lose Rodrigo and get him. Yeah. Well, one guy who's apparently too old for all of you, but would make way more sense is that man, Dries Mertens. Addressed my case.
I watched your video as well, and it still didn't convince me.
Well, I almost smashed my phone for that, so that better convince you. But I don't know how that didn't convince you, because he is the perfect player, man. The perfect player. He is experienced. He's got the touch of a spider's excrement. He has got some of the sharpest turning circles you've ever seen. He's as agile as a ballpoint pen. He can turn on a half punch. The guy is liquid, and I'm talking liquid sauce.
You know how we thought last year that, like, Tyler Robertson, Bielsa, something must be going on there because Tyler Roberts keeps playing. I think Mertens has got something on JT. Surely, we keep bringing him up.
Well, no, because we're talking about old guys, are we not? And I think, and we're linked with Mertens again. So I'm saying, why would it not make more of a sense of a Rodrigo replacement? Where am I seeing them? Well, watch my videos and you'll see, because I showed them in the video, you cheeky fox.
I keep forgetting about Rodrigo, Like, we keep talking about new players. I just don't know where Rodrigo's gonna fit in and gonna play, if I'm being completely honest. And I'm another one. I don't mind Rodrigo, but I think he's had too many games where I'm like, you've got to do something now. But when he does play well, he plays well. But I don't know where he's gonna play.
I think the games that he has
bottom three. That's it.
That's exactly what I was going to say. But it's the sort of thing where against the bottom half of the league, you probably could give him a game and he'd probably do well against promoted sides, against sides who are down the bottom of the table. If you give him those games, he probably would do well against them. It's the big games that he goes missing in, and you need somebody hungry like Brendan Aronson who's going to be like
Man United.
But could we
scored
say
a wonder goal
over the last 2 seasons in the Premier League, has any of our players been up to scratch against top 6 teams? Rafinha looked like...
Well, we had that run, didn't
Rodrigo
we?
actually scored.
Oh, yeah, true, actually.
Well,
sorry, I meant more last year, to be fair. Actually, to be fair, the year before that, we did have that tough month that didn't actually turn out to be tough in the end.
No.
But I thought last season, against the so-called Big 6, or the teams up there, it was just the thing where I was like, it just... I don't know. I didn't see any of our players really turning up, and I don't know.
You mean this last season here?
Yeah,
we got battered every game.
The season just gone, and I even put out a harsh tweet about Rafinha when it happened. I was like, I think I was just in the bit of a heat of the moment. I was like, I don't care where Rafinha goes. Has he ever turned up against a top 6 side anyway? I think that's after we've been smashed 6 or 7-0. One of the few times we've done that last year. But yeah, I don't know. I think next season, are you boys confident? Sorry, I'm taking over, Joe. Are you boys confident going into next season? Like, I feel there's a bit of a buzz around the Leeds fans.
Mate, I feel like a guy who is just, each night 10 out of 10s every single night of the week. I feel like I have been pulling more than Dwayne Johnson right now. I'm so confident with Leeds United, with the signings we have been making, with the way that we've been doing business. Look, it's looking bleak, and like I said, I'm not Tommy Shelby. I don't like the bleak midwinter, but it is summer. And things were looking bleak, but now that sun is shining on Ellen Road because you're talking Sinisterra, pure source. You're talking the midfield, nice and strong, sturdy base there. Mark Roca, he is a metronome in there. He can dictate the pace of the play beautifully. You've got a great combination with Tyler Adams in there. You're looking at Leeds now, and you're looking at a squad that is strong. It's girthy, it's packed, and it's tight. Brendan Aronson, I'm hearing things from people, and apparently someone who knows some inside information is telling me that some of the players are saying Brendan Aronson in training is even better than you could expect. So we're very excited to see how that could go. And I think we made good signings. Like, when you people put those predicted 11s out and things like that, and I look at the squad, and for the first time I look at it and I think it's not like our championship squad. I look at that and I'm like, that is a top team.
But doesn't that sometimes
starting 11?
I think I always look at that and go, what about Click? Like, what are we going to do with these? And I think we've still got that
emotionally attached.
We're still emotionally attached to the championship side, and I'm like, well, no, we can't drop him because but it is a point where as a club we do have to move on, and I think now a cup run we need because
agreed.
The depth now is the team we started last season can play our cup games. Do you know what I mean? Like, 8 to 9 of them players probably could. And listen, it's that thing where I look at our squad now where I'm like, I don't think we've got too many people, but I'm like, well, we've got a lot of players, and I'm excited. I'm excited for the FIFA 23 career modes. I think I'm excited for.
Yes.
And just while we're on that as well, I've been twitching, so you can actually join me on my career mode on Twitch. I'll be going live.
Please don't say twitching. Please never say twitching again. Don't say
that was a paid promo, wasn't it, Joe?
Paid, mate. I'll sort you a $5 out. Don't worry about that. Smudge, I keep wanting to say Rita, but I know it's Smudge. You said, do not disregard Rodrigo so easily. We've got the 5 sub rule. It's going to be a game changer. We need experience on the bench more than ever.
That is a very good point.
Same thing goes for Dan James as well, coming off the bench with his pace. I think he is going to start on the bench. But what are you saying, Ollie, about whether we're confident or not? I am, but I would have preferred, I know it's picky and pedantic, but I would have preferred if we'd have made 3 of the signings last summer and 3 of the signings this summer to not have too much churn all at once, because we're putting 6 new players into the starting 11 if we get a backup striker, and potentially 7 if we get a left back as well. It's a lot to put into one team straight away and expect it to just click like that. If JT had his headset on, he definitely would have made a joke about click there. But it would have been for me more ideal to have 3 last season and 3 this season, to try and have like a gradual progression away from that squad rather than just bang, they're all gone. Which is pretty much what's happened this summer. But I'm fairly confident. I think we'll 10th to 14th is my
I mean, and we've got to take that after last season. I think a lot of people
100%.
I think the Leeds fans, obviously, we like to, as soon as a signing happens, we're like, oh, that's top 6 for us. You know what I mean? And that's we're taking the mick. But I think anywhere mid-table stability, I just don't want the last game of the season actually meaning something. Do you know what I mean? Like I couldn't,
unless it's for Europe.
Yeah, of course. I'd write, but do you know what I mean? It's and I'm just excited. I understand what you mean about the six signings. It will be hard to get them all in, but the thing is, I feel like what the board have done and Rads and Orta and stuff, they put a lot of faith into Marsch. Every player he's kind of just said, they've gone, oh, we'll go get it. So that, and I think, I'm one who's backed Marsch since he's got in. I know it took everyone a few weeks to be like,
I was.
A few months for this guy.
Yeah, I know. And I understand. And I remember speaking to a few people about it. And I said, it would kind of be nice to have a fresh start. And they're like, oh, what do you mean? What do you mean a fresh start? Like, and I understand the whole Bielsa thing, and I love Bielsa, and I think everyone always will. But Marsch, the way he's come about it, I don't think there's a better manager that could come in, show the respect to Bielsa, and the way he spoke in recent interviews, and his most recent one as well, just talking about everything. He's just so, I'm just in JT. He's so honest with everything. I just really like him, and I hope
falling in love with him a bit. Eh?
Yeah, I think
that was one of the things that struck me when he first came in, is that there's so much
blue eyes
literature about him online, as he would say. There's so many videos, everything explaining all his tactics and talking to people about what he likes, his mentality of his players to be. And he just seems like a nice guy, and he does say all the right things. He seems like he knows what he's doing. And the only thing that worried me was when he came in and he had like no coaches that he brought with him, because we used to be able to bring in a whole army with him. Then Jesse Marsch is coming in and he's like, well, I've got my mate John, and we'll make Matt Jackson a first team coach.
From down to Boozer.
No, I think he's happy that he's had he said in his interview that he's happy that he's had this pre-season where the players can kind of just unwind, because obviously it was every 2-3 days we were playing games when he first came in. Maybe not that extreme, but you know what I mean? And he's focusing on, okay, we're playing Arsenal. They set up like this. We need to set up like that. He's glad that he can get his own philosophy in over the summer. And hopefully we now play teams with his philosophy, not just how we have to set up. And relegation battles make you chuck off all your tactics, don't they? So I'm excited to see what Marsch can do. And if he's not the right man in a few years, then he's not. Or if he's, you know what I mean? I think you've just got to give him time, and people writing him off already. It's just, I think it's a bit. I'm not saying Joe, but I still think they're still a bit stuck up, like with previous
just Joe
managers.
writing him off, isn't it?
Do you know what? Nah, because that's not true, man. Listen.
No, it's not. I'm being unfair.
I know you are, bro. But like, I'm just glad that the Bielsa era was bookended without us getting relegated. Do you know what I mean? We stayed up, but now I'm ready to move. I'm ready to move.
He'll
always be a legend,
though.
Yeah,
he will. It will. And obviously, I was thinking about this. You know how he obviously all of us with a choice would have wanted Bielsa to keep us up and then stay up in a good way. Of course, I'm not saying I wouldn't still rather that be the case, but there's a certain way you could potentially look at it and say maybe it's better for the long run how things happen, because Jesse Marsch, it's moments. Seeing him fall to the ground like that, going crazy, celebrating when we stayed up, is something that draws him closer with the Leeds fans. You've had a moment with him. It's something that brings him more into your hearts. He's kept us up. Had it gone the other way, then right now, Jesse Marsch would be under a lot of scrutiny. People would be questioning the signings, like, why are we bringing in all these Salzburg Dons for this Jesse Marsch guy? We don't even know. Huh? As in, if he had just come in now, Bielsa kept us up and then he comes in, he'd be under a lot more questions, and it would be a hell of a lot more pressure on him. But now, like, people have started to fall in love with him a bit. Obviously, because of how much I love Bielsa, I'd still probably say sacrifice that just for him to keep us up. But
I do think there's a lot of if, buts, maybes, though. Do you know what I mean? And it's so easy for people to go, "Oh, Bielsa
if your aunt had balls, she'd be a bicycle."
Exactly. Balls. You messed that one up. You really messed that one up.
If your aunt had balls, she'd be your uncle. That's what I was thinking of. But,
but the thing is, it is a lot of if, buts, maybes, and that's how I go about it. Like, you know, when even just not even managers, but you know, when you talk about games, we'll be like, oh, we scored one, but it was offside. But you don't know if the other team's going to go up the end and go score 3 more. Like, it's all about just what happens at the time and staying in the present moment. Yes, at the time, it wasn't nice to see Bielsa go. Was it the right thing? Did it pay off? In the end, it did. And do you know what I mean? And that's it's no disrespect to Bielsa. And he's, do you know what I mean? And like, I wish him the best. I hope he gets back into managing, and he needs that stature, or he needs something. Do you know what I mean?
I do think that when Marsch first came in, he did say that he was actually reluctant to take the job because he didn't want to take it in a relegation battle before the end of the season. But I do actually think it has helped him now, because he's got to know all his players. His players have already got to know his system a little bit as well. And he's learnt a bit of the Premier League. When he first came in, he wanted to play that 4-2-2 that he likes.
Yeah.
But I think he realised in playing his games in the Premier League, it wasn't really working for him. And we had nobody in the middle and the teams were running through us. He changed to the 4-2-3-1 and we did a lot better. And I think that is actually what he's going to go with next season, because I think even Firpo in an interview, didn't he, let slip something like, oh, I think it's going to be 4-2-3-1 this season. And so I think that little period there has actually stood him in better stead than if he had have come in the summer fresh, because he's had a bit of Premier League experience. He knows what he needs. He knows how he wants to play his team. His team know him. And so when he does go into the summer and the start of the season, I feel like that'll stand him in better stead than if he'd have just come in summer.
Definitely. Nah, it's bang on.
Let me just quickly run through some super chats. So Christopher Junction said, someone said Alioski's been seen in Leeds. Would you? Let's just quickly go around the grounds, if you like. I don't know if he has been spotted.
Only one ground in Leeds.
Yeah, exactly. So let's just go around Ellen Road then. JT, would you take Alioski back?
Any day of the week and twice on a Sunday.
There you go. Ollie?
No.
No.
Wouldn't take him back. No.
Ollie doesn't like taking players back.
No. He likes throwing it back instead.
Come on, man.
Allegedly.
Yeah.
Maybe because it'd be free and his wages wouldn't be ridiculous because he's already been at Leeds and we already knew what wages he was on to start with, so he can't pull the wool over Leeds' eyes and say this is how much money I deserve, because we already know what he was on. I think he'd be a good option just because he'd be free, and I think it would then free up more money from the Rafa deal to spend on a striker rather than splitting it between them evenly. Or do you know what I mean? Like,
what about this then, Max? Sell Bamford and Melia and use the money for Lewandowski.
I think this guy's been smoking something funny.
No, I think he has as well, because why the hell would you swap a world-class player like Patrick Bamford for Lewandowski?
It's facts.
Wait, so seriously though, so you wouldn't take Alioski back even if it meant it was the only option we could get?
Listen,
between not signing anyone or I know you don't like taking old players.
No. I said no a bit. Like, no, I wouldn't take him back. Again, like I said, if he did return, of course I'd back. I just think it's that thing. We only like him for nostalgia. We like him for that. No, but the thing is, right? How long was Alioski at the club for? I'd say the last season he was with us, he was decent. But how many times did we watch a game and the player, you go, everyone played all right, but Alioski's still that weak link. And if you can rate Alioski,
I don't know about that.
Yeah,
he was JT, man.
I think you can. I think if he didn't have this is me being honest, and sorry if you guys don't want to see me again on this channel, but if he didn't have a voice, we wouldn't care about him. And I think if you can rate Alioski, then like I do. I like.
And you don't know ball. Is that what you're saying? You should be watching
No. The thing is, I understand the personable side about it, but I just do think it's a step backwards if you start to go for players that have already played at the club, unless they're world class. If Rafa
sometimes you have to take one step backwards to take 2 steps forward.
No, but I think personally, I hear what Ollie's saying, because in effect, right, let's say Firpo's crocked, then our starting left back would then be Alioski again, right? And let's not forget, that season, there is a lot of revisionism going on because we're like, oh, yeah, we need a left back, At the end of the day, we all wanted Alioski, not gone, but we needed a left back.
Yeah,
that's why we were all hyped about Firpo. And he's not worked either. So no, he hasn't, no, JT.
First cropped, then revisionism, then Firpo didn't work. What are these phrases?
But can you say that? But the thing is,
it's uni, innit, mate? It's uni.
You can say Firpo. No, he's not working. I was trying to kind of defend you,
but he's not, bro. He's not. He's been rubbish.
There's time for him to start working. I just don't think he sat down.
JT's on the wide, right? JT, tell me 5 great performances from Firpo.
Chelsea.
And you can't say Blackpool.
Don't say Blackpool,
Chelsea, Brighton, Blackpool, Arsenal. Arsenal. What else? What are we talking earlier on in the season?
You're just naming teams.
Burnley as well. He was world class against Burnley. He was world class in that one.
No, he's had he's had good games, but again, talk back to Alioski. It's the consistency that we need, and like I said, if Alioski was on a free and he went, yeah, I really want to come back, of course I'll go. Oh, actually, yeah, I'll take him back, but I don't think that's necessarily a step in the right direction. We need as a club. We've just got rid of Calvin Phillips and Rafinha, and then if we're now bringing back Alioski, it just seems a bit like. I don't know. I think it just seems a bit of a step backwards. And I think all the signings so far have been brilliant.
The thing is as well, Ollie, you could argue, you could remember Alioski had good performances. He scored some great goals as well. Do you know what I mean? Who can forget that one against, was it Hull or Huddersfield? When
important goals as well, though. It was always vital goals.
This is what I'm saying.
He got Pepe sent off.
But again, we're talking how good these left backs are attacking. How unreliable was Alioski defensively?
He was a bit of a shit house. You know?
I thought he was a bit reckless. Yeah, I was watching highlights the other day of the West Brom game where it came out like edge of the box when we beat him 5-0 up.
Scored a rocket that game actually.
Yeah. And I've got no doubt that he's all right. I just don't think that it's the move we should go for. But again, if it's on a free, we've got no one else, and they go on, take him.
Go on,
then of course I would. But
so
I do think
the two weak links make a strong link then.
Yeah.
You'd have to play them both at the same time. I think,
exactly.
Hey, no links wasted. You know what I mean?
Smudge says Alioski would work, in my opinion. He was not a left back. He worked his arse off to become one, and was an all-round better defensive player. I see him being excellent. That's a opinion of Smudge. He also said earlier as well, if our Jesse can move us up 5 places, then it's job done for next year. Anything more would be a huge bonus. Hope the haters 100%. Can hold their tongues for the first 10 games. As stated, need time.
That is a brilliant comment.
Speaking of fullbacks, though, right back. I haven't seen many people talking about this. Blackpool. I think Cody Drama, not to cause any drama, because everyone's on the Christensen bandwagon, but he was very, very saucy. There was one bit of play I saw from him. The ball seems to be like a loose ball down the right-hand side.
I know what you mean.
Looks like it's going out for a throw-in. Bang! Injection of pace. He shows the desire and the effort to get there. Knocks it round the defender. I think it just goes out for a goal kick in the end, or they call it offside, one of the two. But he takes it round the byline and cuts it back. That, for me, that bit of play there, that showed me this guy, we cannot afford to lose him. And I think Christensen could actually find it hard to get in. And I know people were saying, it's just one little bit of play, but those little bits of quality where you can turn it on, that shows me all I need to know. And throughout the rest of the game, I thought he was very good.
Yeah, I was going to mention
Arsenal, I thought he was very good.
I think
when he played last year against Arsenal.
No, you didn't think he was good.
I did. Watch my stream. Watch it back. I thought he was one of our best players. Not until he made that little hash brown at the end there. But
he looked like a boy. He looked like a boy. No, not.
Cody Drama is a good player, man.
Martinelli crucified him, and then guess what? He got sent out on loan afterwards.
Look, man. I
he's
think
a
you're being
good player.
harsh.
No, he's a good player. But when I watched him, he looked like a boy against men. I think it's the physicality that doesn't work there.
He's got more experience now, though. He's got more experience. He's gone in the Championship. That's one of the most physical leagues in the world.
He went there. He was one of the best players on the pitch against Arsenal.
I think he played twice because we played them in the league and the cup, didn't we? And I don't know if he played the first game. I think the first game I know you mean the second game where he got spun like a Beyblade. But the first, I remember seeing him like one of the first times he played, and I was like,
I think he played quite well against Arsenal in the FA Cup from memory.
Is that where we? Yeah, no.
Carabao Cup.
It was when Nketiah
we lost
basically. JT's chatting bubbles.
I think
I'm not forever blowing bubbles.
He's very good, but also I just don't think he's very good, and he's definitely one for the future. And I do believe he is ahead of Ayling in the right back things. I think it goes Christensen, Drama, Ayling personally, and I like Ayling really, but again. Last season, I looked and I thought Ayling was the weak link. I thought both wing backs were the weak links last year. I think he had a couple of good games, but also I think he's just a bit slow now, unfortunately.
No, but to be fair, we haven't seen Christensen yet. But I'm just saying, I think it would be a big miss to let go of Drama Because
Yeah,
from
no,
what I
agreed.
think, he's got so much talent and so much potential,
Yeah.
and just little bursts I see from him. I think he wouldn't go over there and get Player of the Month. Not that I'm an avid Cardiff fan or that I've watched too much of the Championship since I've been there, but he wouldn't go over there get Player of the Season for nothing.
No, of
And-
course, yeah. I'm not saying
and
he's
from what
bad.
I've
yeah,
seen
he's not
in
a bad.
glimpses-
Yeah, we're not.
No,
Yeah.
just let me say, I'm not saying he's bad. I
No.
rate him. I was one of them that was so heavily debted on Bielsa at the time that when he left, I was like, if you don't want to be here, don't be here. But I let my emotions get ahead of me. I do that from time to time. But I think he's a very good player. There is a future right back in him there. I don't think he's ready to be starting. But the fact we've got 5 subs, he will be used. There will be times when he will be used. I think this will be Ayling's last season with the football.
He doesn't want to be used and abused, though. He wants game time.
To me, though,
bro, he's not going to get that, though, is he? He's not going to start over Christensen. We need to be realistic. You don't.
Well, we have to see what Christensen's like first. We have to give everyone a fair crack. There's a lot. This is what's exciting about preseason.
Do you genuinely believe Christensen says, I mean, Marsch, when he says Christensen, I want him as my right back, then starts drama on the opening day?
Well, no, I don't. I think Christensen starts, but I'm saying there's a chance. There's a chance, that depending on how they perform in the rest of preseason.
But I feel like the club have identified this, and to me, what I would do is I would loan Drama out for another season to the Championship, and then have Christensen as your first and Ayling as your second. That way, Ayling has one last season at Leeds. He gets some game time off the bench. Then Ayling is sold, and Drama comes back in to that position directly behind. I feel like the club may have a plan like that because he did so well, and to give him more game time in the look at Ben White, for example. Before he came to us, he was actually loaned out to Newport County, and I think he was loaned out to somebody else as well. Then he came to Leeds.
Peterborough.
Yeah, but he didn't do the business there. He did the business when he came to Leeds. He wasn't Championship Player of the Season in 6 months level like Cody Drama
Was that a fan vote?
Plus, could we not?
For Cody Drama? Was that like a fans player of the year, or was it actually player of the year?
Actual thing. And also, could you not put Rasmus at left back? If we're so desperate for a backup left back, put Rasmus there and Drama on the right.
Dropping
square pegs in round holes again.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, I don't know, man.
No, I agree. Maybe he needs. Yeah, I like that point of him maybe going out on loan, and then Ayling maybe having
more
his
points
last
on a
season.
square than a circle.
But again, I think if you send Cody out on loan, he will then go right. Okay,
Cause
they
drama.
don't want me. I feel like it will cause drama.
They can make assurances though, can't they? Like they can have a discussion with him before he goes and say, "Look, you're going to go out on loan this season. You'll get what you want, which is first team football in the Championship. Then when you come back in, you're going to have much better chance because Ayling will probably be on his way out. You'll have a much better chance. And then whether he wants to accept that or not is then down to him. Because but then it just depends what he's like because he's kind of the way that he did it in the first place made me think that he was a bit immature.
Eager. Well, no, but he's eager to prove himself. You know, you can look at it two ways. Could be a bit of confidence. He's like, you know what? You don't think I'm ready? Go stuff yourself. This is my career. I don't want to sit around on the bench. I want to play. If you're going to be playing centre halves and other things over me in my position, you can go stuff yourself, and I'm going to go and get some game time.
But I think it's eager with an ego. Yeah. All right.
Yeah, but you need an ego. You need an ego. We've all got egos. All right. What man on the planet doesn't have one?
The thing is, though, but he's looked at it like, you're saying about putting centre backs at left back, right back. That wasn't the plan at the start of the season. Obviously, the season before that, Ayling was honestly one of the best right backs in the league. And I don't care what anyone says.
Still is.
He was. Well, he was, right? And of course he's not going to get ahead of him.
That red card was beautiful.
But I also think, why would we bring in Rasmus Christensen if we, like Joe said, if we were going to start Cody first game of the season? I don't know why I keep calling him on first name basis. I don't know him like that, but
I know. I don't. I definitely don't.
But no, I do respect him.
Yeah. Let's finish on the striker because we've already done an hour.
Striker.
I mean, it's flown. Let's talk about the striker. So we know Leeds United are actively searching for a front man. Bamford seems to be broken as well. Hopefully he starts tomorrow in the game. We'll have to wait and see. what are your thoughts on the striker? It looks like Leeds United are still hanging on Charles de Ketelaere, and also
Dries Mertens.
Not Dries Mertens, Callum Awendo. What are our thoughts? What are our thoughts?
Did I not tell you we would go for Callum Awendo? Did I not say that a couple of weeks ago when you virtually spat on my face for suggesting such a name over Charles de Ketelaere?
I
But
definitely did not do that.
you said who would Leeds' next signing be, and I said Callum Awendo, and you're like, oh, well, it wasn't one of the names I listed, you dirty pagan. But
I said that.
yeah,
Find it.
minus the dirty pagan.
Find it.
I think Callum Awendo. Look, I would still like
No,
Dries Mertens.
Tell me when this was said.
Like it was either last week or 2 weeks ago.
Okay.
You were saying, who will our next signing be? It was you offered 3 names, and he wasn't one of the names.
We need a timestamp, or it didn't happen. You know?
But no. Basically, Callum Awendo, I think he's the most likely. Dries Mertens, I would love it, but it's a pipe dream. Dries Mertens, again, we're hanging out. Basically, the whole thing.
It's your pipe dream. It's no one else's pipe dream.
Yeah, well, because no one else is seeing the visions. All right, you're not seeing the visions. I told you, man. The vision is yeah. I hear that. Someone said Joe's too tired for James today. No. To be fair, no. I think he would be a perfect fit. I do really think he'd be good. But Callum Awendo is the one I see happening. Honestly, I think that's the most likely one I see happening. Again, the only thing that's mugging me off with it is they're talking about that buyback clause. If that's in there, I don't want him. If that's in there, I'll go for anyone. Charles de Ketelaere.
Tell me why.
Buying clause. Okay.
Go on.
Okay, I'll tell you exactly why. Because what they're basically saying with a buyback clause is, if he turns good, if he does well for you, then we're having him. Goodbye. You're not making any profit on him. One of the big advantages to getting him is he's 20 years old, so that we could sell him on for a lot of money in the future if we did have to sell him on. The other advantage is if he turned out good and we suddenly started getting into European football or something, then we keep him and we push forward with him. With this, they're saying, okay, he does well for you. We're going to snap him back on a cheap deal. So you've got absolutely nothing out of it. You've got a short-term gain.
You can negotiate that buyback clause.
It doesn't matter, but either way, it's going to be on the cheap. Either way, it's going to be 40, 50 mil max.
Yeah, but you get that player in EJT. I remember having the conversation about Conor Gallagher last summer, and people told me, why should we train another person's player up? The guy got in the England setup and smashed it. If he was in Leeds United's side, are we really bothered him going back to Chelsea now? No, we're not. We wouldn't have ever been in a relegation battle. My point with that is, like Southampton have took Romeo Lavia, and there's a buyback clause of 40 million.
Exactly. I think that's a horrible deal.
No,
it's a contract for a divorce. It's like a prenup.
If we brought Callum Awendo in at 20 million and had a buyback clause for 50, if we get 3 decent seasons out of him, what does it matter?
We won't get 3 decent seasons out of him, because if he was playing well enough to the point we want to keep him for 3 seasons, he would be gone by season number 2, because he'd be lighting the world up. PSG would be like, bang, I won him, and we have no power over him. For him, it's all semi-permanent. You know what I mean? He doesn't know where he's going to...
Would you rather get a lesser quality just because it doesn't have a buyback clause?
I think I would. But I don't think lesser quality. I don't think there's such thing as lesser quality, because there's plenty of options you could go out there for. You know, even an Armando Broja. Go in, even if it costs a little bit more for him.
We can't spend 35 million on
Why can we not spend 30 million? We just made 72 million euros on
because he's going to like West Ham and that are playing at Europe.
Yeah, but we'll offer him more game time.
It's almost, if you look at Sinistera, you've basically there's like an imaginary buyback clause for all the Champions League clubs. If he does really well, he's off. It's the same as having a buyback clause. It just all it does is determine which club he's going to go to. If Sinistera is going to come in, he's going to have, let's say he's on the trajectory he's on, he's going to have 2 or 3 really, really good seasons. A Champions League club is going to do the exact same thing as what they did with Rafinha, pick him up for 50, 60 million euros.
Get more money out of it, though.
Then we're going to go wash our hands of it, and we're going to buy the next one and the next one.
Yeah, but that's what I mean, though. You have the power to negotiate in that scenario. You have the power to drive that price up and demand a high price. You're not getting completely cock-blocked by a club that are
Well,
like, yeah, we're going to
can't
steal him for
do it.
45, 50
You're-
million pounds.
You're saying as if it's semi-permanent, and what I'm trying to say is that all of these young players that we sign are semi-permanent.
Yeah, but realistically, if we had more money and we did get into Europe and we had a bit more financial power, we could say, sod off. Unless if you want to pay 80 million pounds for him, we're keeping him.
So what about Joaquin
We
Correa?
lose
then?
that option, huh?
Have you seen the links to Joaquin Correa?
Rather have Joaquin Phoenix, mate.
Great actor, by the way.
He's a great actor. And much like Joaquin Phoenix, I think those links were made up by a Joker. I don't see much.
That's brilliant. That's the best thing you've said all night, I'd say. The thing is, Marsch said that the next time there is he was talking about Rafinha, and he goes, the next time that a player like that goes, hopefully we're in a position where the smart thing for that player is to stay at Leeds United, because we're in that sort of position. I understand both points about the buyback clause, and when I first heard it, I was similar in the fact that I was like, oh no, I don't want a buyback clause. But I understand now from that it doesn't really matter, because if he, like you said, if he's going to have 2-3 decent seasons anyway, why does it really matter? And I understand the negotiation points to get more money out of it, but I think we should be aiming high. That do you know what I mean? That we should be. These players should say, no, I want to be at Leeds United, whatever happens. Do you know what I mean?
But we have to be a little bit realistic as well, though. Maybe it's an age thing. I just think we have to accept where we are as a fan base. We are a stepping stone. And if that means paying 20 million for a player that could go back to that club in 3 years' time after he's smashed it and got 20 goals a season for 50 million, then so be it. Because guess what? He scored 60 goals for Leeds in that time, and we've climbed up the table. Yeah, it'd be frustrating, but we have to realise where we are as a football club.
We just barely avoided relegation. We look at our club with rose-tinted glasses sometimes because it's Leeds, because we know it's Leeds, and we love the club. We know what the fans are like. We know what the atmosphere is like. We know how good it is to be Leeds. But other players from around Europe will look at it and they'll say they'll think of us in the exact same bracket as they would think
Barcelona.
of anybody else that had just stayed up. Somebody else who just avoided relegation. Next season, if Fulham just avoid relegation, a player will probably
don't you dare try and compare. Look, we're not at the dizzy heights, but we're not Fulham.
No, I'm not comparing it to that, but I'm just choosing a team that will probably either go down or barely scrape survival this season. It's just an example. Foreign players will probably see that. They've not grown up with the culture of the Premier League, and most of them are too young to remember Leeds in the Premier League. Yeah. So to them, we've been a championship club for all their lives. I mean,
doesn't that show how good Orta does at his job?
Callum Hwendo's 20. Callum Hwendo's 20.
He doesn't remember.
But look, we still have the infrastructure. If you're talking 3 to 5 years, we want to be in Europe,
JT,
do we not?
I'll tell you now, and people won't want to hear this. There are footballers out there now, like Callum Hwendo, etc., that won't have even known who Leeds United were if it was.
We screwed ourselves. We missed out on the most important era of football when the Premier League and everything became televised and it became the biggest world and everything became commercialized.
Now is because of Bielsa. Because people say, the Bielsa managed them. Do you know what I mean? That's why we might have a bigger pull than a Fulham, but we should.
But hang on, we've got a bigger fan base. We can offer better wages.
For Callum Hwendo, though.
Yeah, look, he's going to be playing at a packed out Ellen Road, or he's going to be playing in that dirty shed, Craven Cottage, man. He's you know what I mean? It looks like in Nana's shed. Where's he going to want to play?
Yeah,
most people have heard of Leeds now. These young players have heard of Leeds now because of the documentary. A lot of them, when they sign, like Tyler Adams is like, yeah, man, I watched the documentary. It was really cool. And you're like, that's how he knows.
But that's probably a load of waffle, though, isn't it? It's like that guy flipping Kennedy signs for Newcastle. He's like, yeah, I found out about them by watching Goal. Look, it's look, you're right. We're not known, especially to these foreign players. We're not what we think we are, and we're not what we could and should be. But I think we should still be somewhat aiming up there, because what was the goal that the board sold us on is that in 3 to 5 years, we're going to be at least competing or vying for Europe. You can't have a 10-year plan. plans in football football works in cycles of 3 to 5 years, 5 to 6 years. You're not going to have a 10, 15-year plan to get back to playing Europe. You're going to have a 3 to 5 year plan.
Can I just address something as well, like in the comments? Bully Road Racer says, Joe, you got that wrong. Leeds were the biggest club in England in the 60s and 70s. Everyone knows Leeds worldwide. Right, okay. I know the history of the football club. I can guarantee you now that Callum Owendo does not know about Don Revie, Billy Bremner. You know, come on. We have to be realistic here. Yeah. And if Leeds were not in the Premier League...
Maybe he knows about Junior Firpo. You know, maybe
if Leeds were not in the Premier League and you went to Callum Owendo, whose Leeds, he'd go, I don't know who they are.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? We have to be realistic.
And the thing is, you're right. I think as a fan base, I think we're all a bit... We
delusional.
all think we are.
Yeah.
We're so delusional. And you are right. A stepping stone for a young player's career is probably Leeds United. And like I said about Orta, what he does so well is these presentations that he shows his players and be like, we're going to be here in a few years' time. Just stick the process. That he does that well. And obviously, he's a great businessman. But I think, Joe, you're right, really. And you put me in my place, really. We are a stepping stone club for now.
Yeah.
And we have to be realistic for a better. And like you said, we finished 17th. We stayed up on the last day. And then everyone goes, oh, but this season we'll get top 6. And you're like, I don't know how that works. We were more likely to get top 6 last season because we finished 10th. Was it 9th or 10th? 9th. The season before.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. There's not a chance a guy, 20-year-old in France, knows about.
But that's a funny thing, isn't it? That's why I was also. You were saying about Bielsa drawing value to the club.
Yeah, that's so true, bro.
But this is a point I've been bringing up with someone like Mertens that you guys keep laughing at, and I know I'm not trying to just hark on it again, but someone like that has a world-recognizable name. Everyone around Europe knows Dries Mertens. If he's suddenly playing for Leeds United, that brings a lot more eyeballs. The same way Rodrigo did. When Rodrigo signed for Leeds United, everyone's like, even though for me he wasn't, I was more excited about Rafinha, but everyone worldwide they're like, oh bloody hell, you signed Rodrigo, didn't you? Yeah, that's a class signing. It doesn't matter how it worked. It still brought more eyeballs to the club. It still raised the status of the club. It still brought more fans across.
You want to pay Dries Mertens about 100 grand a week to raise the stature of the football club, even though we're already in the Premier League. And I
think he'll do something on the pitch as well, but it would raise the worldwide status. It would say to other players that we want to sign, it would say, oh, hang on about, these are serious dons here.
But the
these
type
are
of players,
dons.
The type of people who've got a name like Dries Mertens or Rodrigo or those people who are known around Europe for playing in the Champions League and everybody knows who they are.
Junior Furb.
If we're able to sign any of them, then that's a problem. If we're able to get our hands on any of those players... No, because we're not mugs.
True.
If Fulham are able to sign them, that's a big problem.
Who's Fulham signed?
Absolutely nobody.
Because I used it as an example.
It doesn't matter who you signed.
But if we're to sign somebody like that, then they're coming to Leeds because they're not going to a club who's playing in Europe. So they're not what they used to be, clearly.
It's a good point. Yeah, like you said, if they are signing for Leeds, that is a problem because surely there's something wrong with them.
No, it's just he's old. He's old. That's it.
Yeah, but I just don't.
That's the issue.
Well, I understand the
against old people.
The thing like bringing the club, like get it bigger, commercialized and stuff like this. But I just don't know if you just sign players just for that. They have to.
Nah.
They have to be. I would personally rather sign Callum Wendo than Mertens.
You've also got
Callum Wendo.
You've also got
Callum Wendo will know the whole history of Leeds United, being from France and that, and 20-year-old, he'll know it all, man.
Yeah, absolutely, man.
He's watched the documentary more than once.
He's watched. He's watched.
He probably watches us, I reckon, before he joins. I think he watches all that.
With your
I hope he doesn't. There's no way he's coming here now.
With your point, JT, about raising the status of the club, you also get that from players like Rafinha. Everybody is talking about Leeds because of this transfer to Barcelona and because of what he's done for Brazil and what he's done for Leeds in the Premier League, which is obviously on the biggest stage. If you sign somebody like Sinisterra and he is absolute filth and nutmegs people for fun, he's going to go viral. You're going to see it everywhere and it raises the status. I think that's the way we need to do it. I agree with you. It's a good thing to raise the status of the club. You get more shirt sales, you get more ticket revenue, all these things. It's a good thing. But I think it comes from bringing in young players like Brendan Aronson, like Luis Sinisterra, seeing them rip it up in the Premier League and people being like, whoa, have you seen this new guy? He plays for Leeds. And then, do you know what I mean? That is another way of raising the status without signing washed up has-beens.
Yeah,
But could you not argue that a big draw for Rafinha coming in was Rodrigo being there in the first place?
No.
Because we were a
Well,
newly
you don't know, do
promoted
you?
club.
No.
It would be speculation because
You don't know what was going on in his head, man. He might have looked at that. He'd been like, okay, they've got Bielsa. They've got a massive fan base. And they've just Rodrigo, a Champions League player, has just gone over there. So they're clearly not playing about here, are we? All right, I'll go give Leeds a go.
No one was
that
wanting Rafinha. He wanted to move to the Premier League because he wanted a stepping stone to move to a top club. That's what
I like them
maybe
type
he
of players,
chose us
though.
because of that.
I like the type of players, like the Rafinha, that I'll be completely honest, didn't know much about him at all before he joined. Then
you should have listened to this guy.
It's the similar ones to Sinisterra. Like, obviously, I know of him, but it's that thing where, like you said, he will have a couple of viral clips, and then we'll get it will just gain attention from just how good they are, not necessarily their name.
And you'll get all the headlines saying the next Rafinha.
Yeah, exactly. And I
I'm more excited about Cini.
Yeah, I like it when they're not as well known. Like, they haven't hit their Rafinha status yet, like he has. Fabrizio Romano can't keep him out of his mouth. Do you know what I mean? And like, I don't really like it when they get to that point. I like the low key players that they're not necessarily ready for, like the Luis Sinisterra. People know he's a good player, but I don't think we know how good he is yet.
That's what's exciting, getting a player that people don't know much about, getting him for not a massive amount of money, and then seeing him rip it up in the Premier League and being like, yeah, he's at Leeds. And then
exactly. And like, how proud have we been, like, for the last few seasons, having Rafinha, like him just tearing it up for Brazil, and we're like, yeah, he plays for us. Calvin for England.
We can actually say that we've got genuinely world-class players. It's something that we have not been able to say for 20 years.
And now we've got to build our stars again. We've got a lot of good players, but obviously our two big stars were Calvin and Rafinha. Yeah, true. And Calvin and Rafinha.
Absolutely. Look, we need young'uns. Of course, I'm not trying to turn Ellen Road into a retirement home. You know what I mean? But I think we've signed a lot of young'uns, and I think one voice of experience, one voice of reason in there would work well.
I'd prefer Mata, though, to the truth, man.
Yes.
I'm not mad at Mata. But like you say, if
I
it's
just think Mertens demands more than Mata, I believe. I believe Mertens would be
wages?
Not necessarily wages, but he would want more game time. I feel like Mata obviously will want more game time, and that's why it's not necessarily a strong link. Do you know what I mean? Like the rumor. But I believe he would be more of a, and that's why experienced goalkeepers are so good. Like, even Ben Foster obviously has come out and said he wants to help the next best goalkeeper.
Yeah. Hey, he wants to help us out with that clickbait, baby. Come on, man.
To be fair, actually, no, we don't want him to sign because he takes our views away from us.
No, he gives us more views. What do you mean?
Collabs. We said this last week,
mate. Not just collabs, but you're suddenly in the recommended of his videos. You know what I mean, man? He brings the status up.
I didn't look at it.
There is no Watford YouTubers, is there? So he hasn't been collabing with them.
I didn't think of that. I was thinking about it on the other side. Oh, go on, Ben.
You get Simon Minter involved. You get the whole ecosystem.
Yes, we've got it. And that's how you bring status to Leeds.
Anyway, I think we've covered all the main talking points at this moment in time. Would you say?
Shackleton
going to Millwall?
Dinner.
Is
that definite now?
Yeah, I was about to say, is it now done?
Yeah,
it's a good move for him, but I've just made a video today where I said I can see it being similar to Tyler Roberts. I can't really see him playing for Leeds again.
World class.
Oh, I think Cresswell already has made a difference to Mill's background. Do you know what I mean? And
if you're a betting man, championship team at season, he'll get in.
You think? Yeah, no, I agree. He's a fantastic, and I know people are annoyed that we got rid of Cresswell and stuff, but it was the best thing for him to get to the championship and let him have a season. There's no doubt in my mind that he won't be back next season, being one of our starting centre backs, really.
Yeah, and this is a good point here by Smudge. What about Archie Gray? How good was he in pre-season?
Mate, 50 Shades of Grey, because he was sexual.
He's 16, mate. So
the guy actually has to change on his own because of his age. Wait. Did you know that?
I didn't.
Oh, right. That. Well, I was going to say, I was hoping they're changing on their own. Otherwise,
No, he's not. They don't they? Yeah, he doesn't change
mad.
in the changing room because of his age. Yeah, it's mad.
But even 16 though.
Yeah, serious. Yeah,
16. I guess not really.
Yeah, they're not anyway. So Bryn Law said he's currently still at an age where he has to change on his own.
That's mad. Yeah, I didn't even. Yeah, fair enough.
Mad.
But yeah, he's still really going in. Shoulder barging Dons off the ball.
That's what I mean. Yeah,
he looks like he's played for years. Honestly, against Blackpool, he didn't. I watched him and I was like, honestly, it didn't look out of place. Still, it didn't look like we were playing a teenager there. It literally looked like
exactly.
he looked
Proper
like a new
putting it
signing.
about, weren't he?
Yeah,
Proper
and that's
putting it
I think
about.
he's got that physicality that unfortunately I don't really see in Lewis Bate, which is another player that looks like
Yeah.
he
True.
maybe might
He's
be
got
going
more
out.
flair than 1960s jeans as well, man. Did you see when that ball was coming out from the corner and he's turned around, bang, flicks it like that straight into the path of Joe Gelhardt? It was Rodrigo's goal. And if Joe Gelhardt had finished, that would have been assist of the season.
I think that was more fluke than anything.
I really rate Lewis Bate. I'd
Put
like
it back
to
in the mixer, want it? Get it back in there.
No,
I rate Lewis Bate as well.
Beautiful, man.
I just think physicality wise, I think he's
Shades of Magic Mike.
Yeah, but if Lewis Bate was to go on loan for a season, then come back in, and it's possible that maybe next year we probably offload Forshaw. Lewis Bate would probably be a good option as in that holding midfield role. And I agree with you, Ollie. He doesn't have that physicality, but now that he's not a lone midfielder role, you've actually got, if he was to play in the rocker role, and he still had Adams next to him, he's got the destroyer next to him, the guy who breaks up the play, gives it to him. And Bates got that nice range of passing. He's got a bit of agility as well. I think he could work well if he was to go out on loan, get some experience in the Championship, because he's never had a full season of first team football.
He's similar to me with Cody Drama. I think they're on the same sort of thing with me. I feel like they need a season to come into the... And you're exactly right. He's not the best at winning the ball. You know what I mean? He's not the physical player, but he will have someone next to him. And Lewis Bates is a brilliant player. When he has featured, I've been impressed, but I just don't... I feel there's more... Personally, I do feel there's more potential put back in Archie Gray, really, but I still do rate Lewis Bate.
Oh, he's 16.
But it's too early to call, isn't it? Really,
It's
too early to call.
They're both still.
They're both very young. They are
Only
very
13.
A long way to go. Who can forget Michael Johnson at Manchester City? I think you all might be
Blowing.
a little bit.
I remember Michael Johnson. I had match attacks when I was like in year 6.
Remember another
Poor
Johnson.
guy just fell off a cliff and let the world.
That's enough.
I don't know. I can't hear what JT's mumbling, so I don't know. I mean,
you don't want to. You don't want to.
I don't want to. I don't want to.
Too many Johnsons. Johnson and Johnson.
Okay, right. We're nearly at an hour and a half. I think we'll leave it there. Thank you, as always, for watching the channel. I'll be live in the morning from about 10 a.m. because we'll be playing Villa.
An early one, innit?
Yeah,
early one.
We'll be playing Villa. So
early start, boys.
I'll be doing that. So if you want to join me for the watch along for that, please do. I don't know if Ollie, are you doing anything?
I don't know. I think I don't know. I might be live streaming it, but also I might just watch it and maybe give a little reaction afterwards. I'm not 100% sure yet. I'm going to do.
Okay. JT, what about yourself?
I'm there like swimwear. You know how it is. Every game, every minute, every second. You know I'm there. Like
Good man.
swimwear. Make sure you're up 10 o'clock, on the clock, on the dot. Be there or be square. And we're not putting square pegs in round holes today. We're putting the real deal. So if I see any of these
It's not Villa,
dons,
is it? It's Brisbane Raw anyway.
It is Brisbane Raw. And we're going to be roaring all night. So if I see any of these dons not awake, I want to see coffee down you tomorrow morning. Yeah, everybody up for this one.
What time's kick off?
10:35.
I couldn't even watch the Blackpool game because I tried to, and it just wouldn't. I just wouldn't let me check out and pay for it, so I just couldn't watch it. So I just had to watch the highlights.
No. You came and dropped in on mine for a bit, didn't you, Max?
Yeah, that's why I did, because I was like, I can't even watch the game, so I just.
I did for a bit as well. I'll come and watch you as well.
Yeah, you did. Legends, man. Legends.
I think we should all just sit around and watch Joe, I reckon.
Yeah.
JT.
You're just snaking out the boy here. Snaking out the boy.
JT's coming for the king. He's coming for the king. Max,
the king was on fire last week.
Are you working? I know, right? It was amazing. Are you working, Max?
Yeah, but I may be able to watch it. So many hours into editing it, and I've only done half of it today. So that'll be out on the channel in a few days with some nice crispy graphics that I've made from scratch. So hopefully it's worth the stress, and it's not a 10 out of 10 like my last 3 videos.
Oh, mate,
it's horrible.
10 out of 10s.
Yeah, man.
I can't sleep when I have a 10 out of 10.
Tell me about it. And I've had 2 in a row. It's looking bad.
I had a 10 out of 10 this morning. I was fuming.
My most recent's a 9 out of 10. But yeah.
I had a 5 out of 10 with Mata, so that's all right. It's okay.
Yeah, you take them.
Yeah, exactly. 3:45 a.m. for me, says Smudge. Make sure you're here, Smudge. You're a legend. Listen, it's been a great show. Thank you, Ollie, for stepping in. I think Ollie will be with us next week as well because Mr. Lou is still on holiday.
Great debut.
He's actually not gone yet. He's been in the chat popping off.
Yeah,
just getting packed. Yeah.
Yeah, he's getting packed, isn't he? So I don't know why he couldn't be
Getting
here.
packed.
Brisbane Roar are going to be getting packed tomorrow.
We shall wait and see. We shall wait and see. Make sure you follow Ollie. Yeah.
Yeah.
Make sure you
thank
follow
you.
Ollie. Make sure you
Appreciate
follow.
that.
Yeah. Check
And
him out.
Appreciate you for having me on, stepping in
mate,
some
don't
big
worry.
boots.
Thanks for coming,
some
man.
big
Thanks for
boots of
coming.
Lewis,
It's been a
mate.
good time. It's been a good time.
And make sure you check out Max as well. Please do check out his latest video because he'll be gutted if it
Going
is 10
off
out of 10,
lately.
right?
Yeah, it's already said that.
Yeah, make sure you tag us in it and we'll get it shared for you, Max, man. It is
Yeah,
what it is.
100%, man.
Yeah, I think that's it. Thanks, everyone.
Shared like void.
See you in the morning if you're about. I'll be jumping on Twitch for a little bit after because I've got 5 games to complete of the season. So pushing for Europe. So if you want to
Love
watch
it.
it, go over to Twitch, yeah, and I'll see you there for an hour or two.
Au
But
revoir.
yeah, peace out, people. Thank you as always, and enjoy the rest of your week. And see you in the AM.